So just going to talk about what a reverse bid is and how you respond to them. And if you're watching this video on YouTube and you wish to join these little lessons, you can send me an email. And I will also be referring in the talk to a handout which is on that website there. So if you want to download the website, which has got the bidding sheet on it, it's on that website there. So what we're going to talk about this evening is a reverse bid by opener. And it's when you open one of a suit, your partner responds in a new suit or one no trump, and you now bid a new suit above the 2 level of your original suit. So the reverse bid, when you make it, shows a particular hand. It should be more than a minimum hand, normally 16 points or more. And by bidding 2 suits in that order, you should be showing at least 5 in the first suit and at least 4 in the second suit. It is a non-jump bid, and it's played as a forcing bid. So responder is not allowed to pass unless, of course, the opponents intervene after it. So let's have a look at a few examples of this. Here's one where you, as West, you open 1 diamond, and it goes pass, 1 spade, pass, back to you. And I've got the first poll of the evening, which is, what do you think West should rebid here? So what do you think West should rebid with this hand? Have a look at the results. And nearly everyone has gone for 2 hearts, with a few people voting for 2 no trump, 2 diamonds, or 1 no trump. And yes, 2 hearts is the right bid there. It is a reverse bid because you've bid 2 hearts, which is above the 2 level of the first suit. Because 2 hearts is above 2 diamonds, it's a reverse bid. But this hand qualifies for that because you have 16 points or more. And I suppose you might consider 1 no trump, but I would prefer to bid 2 hearts here, because you may have a heart fit, and you may not find that if you bid 1 no trump now. So 2 hearts is the right bid. And let's imagine that has been how the bidding went. And now let's look at it from East's point of view. So it went 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 hearts. And I've got the second poll now. What should East rebid with this hand? Your partner has bid 2 suits. They've shown 5 in the first and 4 in the second, and you shouldn't pass that. The fact that your partner has made a reverse bid has obliged you to bid higher than perhaps you'd like to bid with 3 diamonds, with only 6 points here. But your partner should have 5 diamonds and 4 hearts. So I would go back to diamonds. I bid 3 diamonds. That shows a minimum hand with 3 diamonds. The other bid I suppose you could consider is 2 spades. That would also show a minimum hand with no, at least 5 spades. But the problem with that is that your partners may well be very short in spades. They may have, diamonds and hearts taking up most of their cards and not have many spades for you. So probably 3 diamonds is the more correct bid there. And if this is indeed the layout, then that 3 diamond bid shows a minimum hand. You're bidding a suit that's been bid before at the lowest level, and your partner should pass. And you probably get to what is quite a good contract of 3 diamonds on that hand. Do interrupt me if you have any questions about that. Let's try another one. This time you've got the same distribution in the West hand, but fewer points. And it's gone 1 diamond, pass, 1 spade. And what do you think West should rebid this time? Here's the third poll. And the question is, what do you think West should rebid with this hand? just launch that. So it's having a bit of trouble. And most of you have gone for 2 diamonds, with some percentage going for 2 hearts, 19%, as well as 2 no trump and 1 no trump. And really 2 diamonds is the right bid here. Although you would like to mention your heart suit, to bid 2 hearts would show more than a minimum, would show more like 16 points, and you could easily get too high. So the best bid here is just really to rebid your diamonds, bid 2 diamonds. I wouldn't bid 1 no trump with that hand, because that would should show a balanced hand with 15 or 16 points, and you're quite a way off from that. So really 2 diamonds, which shows 12 to 15 points, is the right bid there. And East with this hand will very happily pass, and you'll probably end up in a good contract of 2 diamonds there. Now, if I reverse the red suits, this is, I think, the same hand as we just looked at, but this time I've given you 5 hearts and 4 diamonds. You start off with 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, and that bidding sequence doesn't show any extra points. That can be made with a minimum hand, because the 2 diamond bid is below the 2 level of the first suit. It's below 2 hearts. So that doesn't show any extra points, but it should show at least 5 hearts and at least 4 diamonds. And the next poll here is, what do you think East should respond to that 2 diamond bid? So what is East's second bid here? And here comes the poll on that subject. And nearly everyone has gone for 2 hearts there, with various other answers. 2 hearts being, sorry, pass being the next most popular. But it is definitely right to go back to hearts here. Your partner should have at least 5 hearts and at least 4 diamonds. And even though your diamonds are better, stronger than your hearts, you should go back to the heart suit. That bidding sequence, when you now rebid 2 hearts, shows a weak hand, 6 to 9 points, and you're probably going to be in a good contract here of 2 hearts. So don't be tempted to pass the 2 diamonds. Your partner might have a really good hand and be looking for game. So it's right for you to bid 2 hearts here. Your partner will realize that probably shows 6 to 9 points, and that you prefer the diamonds, sorry, you prefer the hearts to the diamonds, or as in this case, you have equal preference. Also, of course, you like to play in a major suit, which scores better than playing in a minor suit. So the answers to all these bidding questions are all on that bidding sheet, which is on my on the website I mentioned at the start of the talk here. And if you're not familiar with this, I do suggest you try and study and try and make sure you know what how to read this. This is all about the 3rd bid in the auction. That's what the 3 means. And it talks about openers rebid after responder bids a new suit or bids 1 no trump. And the important bits we've been talking about here is this line here where it says, with a minimum hand, you can bid a new 4-card suit, but only if it's below the 2 level of the 4 suit of the first suit. Whereas with a medium or a stronger hand, you can bid a new 4-card suit even if it's above the 2 level of the first suit. And that's what's called a reverse bid. So do make sure you can find your way around that little section. It's probably the most important section on that bidding sheet. I wanted to talk about a couple of other matters, and there are some competitive auctions where it appears that you've made a reverse bid, but it's not really a reverse bid. And we're going to look at a few examples of that. So here's one where, West, you've got a minimum hand, 11 points, but you open 1 club and it goes 1 spade by North, double by East, and South passes. Now that double should be a negative double, showing the unbid suits, and in particular, showing 4 cards in any unbid major, here hearts. So here, because of that competitive bid and the double, you should be happy to bid your heart suit. And although 2 hearts is above the 2 level of the first suit you bid, it's as though you're responding to East's bid of, if they had been able to, they would have bid perhaps 1 heart. So if North hadn't bid, maybe East would have bid 1 heart, and then you would have supported them with the minimum hand just going to 2 hearts. So this may on the face of it look like a reverse bid, but it isn't. It doesn't, in the sense it doesn't show any extra strength, and it can be made with a minimum hand. This hand is a little bit interesting if instead of passing, if South had bid 2 spades, it had gone 1 club, 1 spade, double 2 spades. Now we're in a competitive auction, and now the bid for Westerschus is a little bit more difficult. Your partner's double should show 4 hearts, and you've got 4 hearts, so you'd love to support your partner's hearts. But if you do, to do that, you'll have to bid at the 3 level, bidding 3 hearts, and your partner might take you to be a little bit stronger than that. So without that 2 spade bid, you would happily bid 2 hearts. Now you have a bit of a quandary about whether to pass or whether to bid 3 hearts. And maybe your partner will realize if you do bid 3 hearts that you may have been pushing it a bit. So they might not, get too excited about it. And we are in a competitive auction. But this is a slightly difficult hand if South does bid. Let's try another bidding sequence here. The same hand, you bid 1 club, 1 spade, and here North, your partner bids 2 diamonds. South passes, and what are you going to bid now? Well, the first thing you've got to realize is that your partner's 2 diamond bid, a new suit by responder, is absolutely forcing. So you have to bid something. And your partner's bid of 2 diamonds has already taken the auction above the 2 level of the first suit you bid. They've already bid above 2 clubs. So you've got to bid something, and any bid you make is going to be above the level of the first suit you bid. So here you should happily bid 2 hearts. That's not showing any extra strength. It's just bidding your next suit, and hopefully your partner will know where to take the auction. You're showing your 2 suits, and that appears to be like a reverse, but it isn't, because your partner has already bid above 2 clubs. Do interrupt me if you have any questions about that.
Tony,
Hello.
why would you not? I'm just thinking, would you not support your partner to the 3 diamonds because he's showing you 2 diamonds, so he at least got 5 diamonds?
That's not really true. He may only have 4 diamonds, and so I don't want to support him with only 2 cards. It's true. If he may have been able to show both suits by making a negative double, both hearts and diamonds. So the 2 diamonds may be 5 cards, so it's not guaranteed to be.
Okay.
It's just a forcing bid, should be at least 10 points. So I'm just happily going to bid hearts here. I'm not supporting my partner's diamonds with only 2.
Okay, thank you.
If on that same bidding sequence, though, South raises their partner, so if it went 1 club, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, then now I don't have to bid. My partner will get another bid, and I will happily pass that. I've shown my hand, in the sense I've shown an opening hand, and maybe my partner will know what to do. I don't have anything else to show here, and I'm certainly not going to bid 3 hearts here. That would or support my partner's diamonds. So in that situation, you would just pass over the 2 spades. your partner can bid again. So let's have a look at another hand here. This was actually a hand that was played online some time ago. And I'd like you to think about what the bidding should be here. So here, West opens one club. Your partner bids a spade. And the question is, what do you think West should bid with this hand? And here comes the poll on that subject. What should West rebid on this hand? So here, most of you have gone for two clubs, but 26% have gone for two hearts. And in fact, when this hand was played, I think a lot of the players got a little bit too high. And if you bid two hearts, that is really a reverse bid and it shows more than a minimum. But you've only got 11 points in high cards, so you should just settle for two clubs. You're not strong enough to bid two hearts, which would show a stronger hand. Now, if West does bid two clubs, that shows a minimum hand with, say, up to 15 points. I've got the next poll for you. This was a hand that was actually played. And the question is, what do you think East should rebid with this hand? Okay, let's have a look at your responses. And the most popular response is three clubs, followed by pass and two spades and two no trump. Well, let's think about this. Your partner should have shown at least 5-card club suit, no real support for your spades. So I think there's a very good case for just passing here. I know a lot of you chose to bid three clubs there. Another possibility you might think about is two spades. But really, you know you've got a club fit, and to bid two spades is sort of, taking the auction higher and risking playing in a spade contract without a good fit. So there's a lot to be said there for just passing two clubs. Now, if the opponents enter the auction and start bidding something else, then I would happily compete to three clubs. But at this point, I think I'll just pass and play it in two clubs. It turned out on this hand that the only makeable contracts, according to the computer, were two clubs or one no trump. And a lot of people, when they played this was actually the traveller for it. Here I've just rotated, it was rotated, here it was played by north-south. And you can see, if you look at this little grid here, the only contracts that north-south can make, according to the computer, are two clubs or one heart, one spade, or one no trump. All other contracts could be defeated there. So you can see a lot of people played it in north-south. Even some played it in three clubs and went down. Some played it in two spades and went down. But really, you're probably better off just to try and get out in two clubs. So, but if South, of course, makes a reverse bid of two spades, then you'll probably end up in at least three clubs or some other contract. So do try not to make a reverse bid if you're dead minimum like this. And if your partner does make a bid like two clubs, which should be a minimum hand with 12 to 15 points, here it's only 11, realize that's quite a weak hand, and maybe you should just pass the two club bid. I've got one last poll for you all, and it's slightly different in the sense that there are multiple answers that you can choose from. So the poll says, after one club, one spade, which of the following bids are reverse bids? And you can select any of them or more than one of them if you think they constitute a reverse bid. Remember, a reverse bid is where you bid two suits, and and the second suit you bid is higher in rank than the two level of the first suit, and it should be a hand that shows five cards, at least five cards in the first suit, and at least four cards in the second suit. So here comes the last poll of the evening, and that's a question on it. Which of these bids is a reverse bid? And you can tick any number of them. Let's have a look at what you've put. So let's go through it. The most popular responses were two hearts and two diamonds, and nearly all of you chose those, 93 and 78%. Let's go through them, starting with the lowest bid there. So one no trump, that's not a reverse bid because you're only bidding, you've only bid one suit. Two clubs is not a reverse bid, you're rebidding a suit at the lowest level that you've already bid before. But two diamonds and two hearts are both reverse bids. Those are the correct answers because both of those bids are above the two club bid. What about the other bids? Two spades is not a reverse bid because you're supporting your partner's suit. So you're just showing a minimum hand with support for your partner's spades. Two no trump is not a reverse bid because a reverse bid is two bidding two suits. Three clubs is not a reverse bid because you've jumped to three clubs. And three spades is not a reverse bid because you've jumped in support of your partner's suit. So the correct responses were two hearts and two spades, and all the others are not reverse bids. Do let me know if you have any questions on that. So that's what you should have answered on that, just two hearts and two spades. Finally, I just want to talk about one little bit of terminology. You may come across a term of a high reverse. And a high reverse is actually the same as a reverse, but where the second bid you make happens to be at the three level. So it's on a hand like this, where you've got, I think, 16 points. You bid one spade, and when your partner bids two diamonds, you are thinking about what to rebid. And here, because you've got more than a minimum, you can bid your second suit. And that happens to be at the three level, and that is sometimes referred to as a high reverse. However, I don't think there's anything to be gained by learning about that because it really just follows the exact same rules of any reverse bid. It just happens to be that your bid here is at the three level. Again, it shows five in the first, at least five in the first suit, at least four in the second, and more than a minimum hand. But you will come across that terminology of a high reverse. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about this evening. Does anyone have any questions on any of that? I'll stop sharing my screen with you. And if you want a partner for the game at 7:30, just join the table and call me over and I'll come and find someone to play with you. All right. So see you all in a few minutes.
Thank
Bye, everyone.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.